George Karl was obviously the head coach of the Denver Nuggets when Carmelo Anthony was there. And really the salacious comments that come out of this book and out of these excerpts are George Karl talking about his time, his 6 years with Carmelo Anthony in Denver, and talks about, here's the first thing he says. Carmelo was the greatest offensive player I ever had.
Yes.
So that's awesome. Like, Carmelo's going to love that.
Right.
All right. But you start digging into some of these excerpts and you start talking about, or you start hearing about the way that George Karl describes Carmelo. Selfish, didn't play on defense, couldn't be a leader, refers back to a DUI, refers back to a time he was caught with weed in his backpack. He refers to J.R. Smith and his buddies as a posse.
Yes.
I mean, all of these buzzwords now that are going to be coming out in this book. And really, a good book is a book that does have salacious details.
Yeah.
And he has it. And he basically refers to Carmelo as selfish and spoiled. And, also J.R. Smith is an AAU spoiled brat kid.
Yes.
All these different things that are not going to go over well, I'm sure, with Carmelo. And Carmelo's sensitive anyway. Anytime something is said, the media runs to Carmelo, whether or not he's a top 5 NBA player in a poll, or whether or not, Phil Jackson is saying he's a ball stopper, a ball hog, and he holds on to the ball for 2 seconds, and everything is then basically manufactured into a major drama.
Yes.
Well, let me just tell you something. This is going to be major drama.
No, yeah,
it is about as pointed and as critical of Carmelo Anthony. And I think a lot of people feel this way about Carmelo, but nobody really ever says it.
No, I think you're exactly right.
Now it's down in black and white.
Yeah,
and it's George Karl, who I think a lot of people have a very high regard for as a coach.
Sure. I'm with you. And listen, it's always been my thought with Carmelo Anthony, and I'll even add to it. I was actually in Denver playing for the Broncos when J.R. Smith and Carmelo Anthony were there. And, listen, there's a lot of crossover between basketball players, football players. You're in a city like Denver. It's not New York. So the guys see each other at the night spots, whatever, the bar, whatever it may be. And that was even always the talk just from the football players that I knew that were hanging around the basketball team a little bit with Carmelo. Everything that you kind of read is kind of the way they felt. It's what they had always said, kind of the teammates in Denver were saying about Carmelo, that he was a little bit of a spoiled brat from that standpoint. I never heard anything about JR. JR is a Jersey kid. But also, I think it just plays into the culture of basketball, too. I mean, a culture, everybody's an AAU brat for the most part in basketball.
I actually personally think AAU has ruined the players.
Well, no doubt, because at 7th grade, they're being told, you're the greatest thing on the planet. You're awesome. There's nothing you could do wrong. You didn't do your test? Well, you can hit a jump shot. It doesn't matter.
I think it's a completely dirty situation.
The coaches are dirty a little bit in a lot of situations.
I know that there are a lot of there's really.
I played AAU basketball, so I don't want to rip it totally. I was a part of a good experience, but I know that there was some shadiness there as well.
But I guess a lot of these kids don't really have any other place to go.
Yeah, so it's their jump-off spot.
This is where they go, and they're told, at a very young age that they're the best ever, and we're going to get you a shoe deal, and we're going to get you a sneaker deal, and there's a lot of fugazi stuff going on behind the scenes. I think it really has ruined basketball. But I also say, like you say, that there's a place for people to go to be able to move on and get to the next level. And unfortunately, there's no governing body over the whole thing.
No.
It's just basically a free-for-all, and it's a desert of just
leeches that are coaches that are looking for handouts from college programs or any coach out there that can help them.
It's dirty. It's basically dirty.
It is dirty to persuade players.
Here's the thing. Karl basically said that Anthony's trade to the Knicks was a sweet release for the coach and the team, like popping a blister. That is a blistering comment,
yes,
right?
Yes, it is.
And obviously, we won that trade by a long shot. Basically, I'm paraphrasing what George Karl says there, but he is about as pointed and as critical of Carmelo as you can be. And it's, for Knicks fans, it comes at the wrong time. I mean, it's not like what we need right now. We don't need Carmelo distracted by this. And that the Mark Bermans of the world and the Frank Isolas of the world are going to run to Carmelo today, and they're going to be asking him all about this and commentary, and Carmelo's going to have to get his pound of flesh, and here we go.
Yeah.
And it's going to be but again, I think the honesty that George Karl writes about is why you'd want to get the book.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, I don't think George is going to get any more head coaching jobs. I think he'd be in trouble with that from this standpoint, because guys are going to be like, damn, what's he going to say about me?